Hello everyone, hope you're having a good day. Today I'm going to be making golden walnuts from the new Stardew Valley update. So to start I'm going to make a mango creme patissiere, which we're going to put inside the bonbons. So I've just got one medium-sized mango here that I've cut into pieces. I'm scoring the inside so it just makes it easier for me to take apart. You can see me pulling the little chunks off and place them into a pan, which I'm then going to place on low heat for about 20 minutes to reduce down. This is the paste that I got at the end, and I've added it to one small batch of basic creme patissiere mix. I've made this before in previous videos, but I'll give a general recipe in the description down below. I'm also going to make a coconut creme patissiere, but I didn't think I should show both, so I'll put the recipe for that in the description as well. So this here is the creme patissiere plus all of the mango, which I've then blended and then put through a fine mesh sieve. You can see it's super creamy, but not the right colour, so I thought I'd add a bit of red and yellow food colouring to get it this kind of more orange colour that you can see here. Kind of gives that impression that it's got mango in it. I'm then taking my trusty bonbon mould and filling it with tempered chocolate. Again, I've done this a few times on the channel, but I'll just show you it again because I'm getting better at it. So yeah, I fill each of the mould. The consistency of the chocolate is the most important thing. You want it to be kind of runny. So just fill each mould. Mine takes about 150 grams of chocolate to do this. Spread it out evenly, and then you want to shake it to get all of the air bubbles out. So I'm banging it against the side of my hand. And then in a minute I'm going to drop it down onto the table and then give it a really hard whack. You can see the little air bubbles coming to the top. We need to make sure all of the air bubbles are out so the surface is super smooth. When we've done that, we're just going to tip the mould upside down to empty out all the chocolate and then just bang the side just to help everything drip out. The chocolate's kind of semi-hard now, you can see it's kind of holding its shape. So we're just going to scrape off the edges. It's still runny enough that it kind of flows back into a natural smooth shape, but it's not so hard that we can actually still scrape it off. So you can see there it's all nice and cleaned up. And after it's set a little bit, I'm going to pipe in that mango creme patissiere. You can just see me doing that here. This is the new 2x zoom that I found on my phone, which I think looks quite nice, better for these close-up shots when I'm dealing with small things. And then that's the final one just there. I filled these all the way to the top because I expected to put the two halves together. Come into a bit of trouble later on, but I'll show you that in a second. And here, this is just the coconut creme patissiere. Again, I'll put the recipe in the description down below. So when I tried to turn these out, the creme patissiere just dropped out, so I'm just going to fill the mango ones with a little bit of chocolate to prevent that from happening. It took a bit of work to get these out. I couldn't actually tip them all out, so I had to press them out with a cocktail stick. But as long as the chocolate is tempered properly, they'll kind of slide out. So I've got all of them out, and then I'm just going to pop 5 of the coconut ones back in, and then I'm going to put a little bit of chocolate on the top. This is how we're going to glue them together. So we're going to put a little drop of chocolate on top of the coconut creme patissiere, and then I'm going to put the mango halves, which are the solid ones you can see on the right, that I've capped with chocolate, on top of this to create a perfect sphere. I use mango and coconut because this is just a spoiler in case you don't want to hear. In the new 1.5 patch of Stardew Valley, the developer introduced a new mango tree into the game. And there's also coconut trees which are native to the island, which is new in the patch. So I thought I'd mix the two together, and the golden walnut shape is because the golden walnuts are collectible on the new island. So that's the kind of theming for this one. And then with the final coconut ones on the bottom, there's also a golden coconut in the game, which is almost like a little treasure chest that you can open up. So I thought with the coconut ones I'd just put them together and then make some golden coconuts as well. So it's just the same process. I won't show all of this, but I'm just adding the coconut into the tray, adding a bit of chocolate and then gluing it together. So when I fixed all these up, I put them in the fridge and allowed them to set. While they were firming up, I decided to make the ganache, which we're going to coat these with. So in this bowl here, I've got 25 grams of double cream, and then I'm adding 50 grams of the leftover chocolate. This is just the stuff that I used to fill the chocolate mould. It's kind of set up a little bit. It doesn't really matter about the temper anymore because we're mixing it with cream. This is just some melted chocolate I had on hand. So it's a 2-to-1 ratio of dark chocolate to cream, and I'm going to gently warm this in the microwave and then mix it together. This is always quite satisfying to watch. So this is the dark chocolate and the cream mixing together, and it just instantly goes super glossy and dark and shiny. I then poured this ganache mixture into a thin baking tray and cut these little circles out. So it turns out this wasn't actually the best way of coating the truffles, so you can see there the ganache kind of breaks, it's not very supple, so I ended up having to kind of warm it between my hands and then just kind of smear it onto the outside of the chocolate. A better way to do this in the future would probably be to dip the set chocolate bonbons into the liquid ganache and then allow it to set up that way. You could even freeze the bonbons beforehand so it sets a bit quicker once you've dipped them. Either way, this kind of still worked for me, so I just smeared the ganache on the sides all the way around till it was a sphere, and I put one single band all the way across the middle and then used a cocktail stick to kind of make some walnut markings, the kind of wrinkles in the surface. You can see, yeah, this is the final product. I didn't show the whole process because it was quite laborious, but they're all set up now. I put them in the freezer for a little bit just to firm them up completely, and then I've got this golden lustre dust, which I'm using just a normal paintbrush to dust on with. You want kind of one that's got a thick head on the top with lots of brushes so you can kind of spread it evenly. And this is the end product. So we've got the walnuts on the left, and then you can see them two little golden coconuts that I made as well at the back. And here I'll show you the cross section of the golden walnut, so you can see that mango half and the coconut half. It tastes really good. That mango is really, really sour. It cuts right through all the sweetness, which I think you need when there's this much dark chocolate in there. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this one. This is one of the more creative projects I've done. I think I'd kind of brought the whole Stardew Valley 1.5 patch together with both the flavours and the shape and everything. So I hope you guys really enjoyed this, and thank you very much for watching. See you next time.